Well, I don't know if we're live or not, folks. We're having some big time problems here with YouTube connecting. I think it's just been um, just kind of the way it's been, actually. We're on now, doing an audio. Okay, no, I guess we are on here. So here we go. Um, yeah, some reason this new software here, I click it, and usually it's like 2 seconds you're up to YouTube, and this time was pretty close to a minute, and usually it doesn't connect. But if we're here, that's all that matters. Hello, everyone. Hopefully things are okay as Gandalf comes by. Good to see you. And Barbara comes by saying all sounds good. So I'm pretty happy with that. Thank you so much. And so yeah, so if it looks like my eyeballs are falling out of my head, they are. And I forgot how bad this time of year was for me with the playoffs. I have I'm putting in an extra 25 to 35 hours a week going to cover the playoffs on top of the job and on top of YouTube and stuff. It's been fun, but holy cow, it's like the issue is that, all 3 teams that I cover, I do 3 levels of hockey up there, right? All 3 are in the playoffs, and 2 of them took 1st place, so that means they get all home playoff games. That's how they do it, is if the higher seed hosts all 3 games. So they're both both hosting 3 games, and they're going the distance. No one can sweep, so they're going the distance, and it's been fun, don't get me wrong, some great playoff hockey. We almost had a fight in the stands today. We had a team from Montreal come down, and it was the end of the first period. Things started happening, and then the teams are yelling at each other as they're going off the ice. Next thing you know, parents are yelling at each other, and they go outside, and the coaches had to go outside and separate people. It's like, whew, there was more people milling around watching than there were doing anything wrong. But it was something else. It was something else. And oh no, John, what's going up? John says he's sitting in the medical lobby. His mother-in-law gets a broken hip X-ray. Oh no. Well, hopefully everything's okay. John, I've watched from the emergency room too. Okay, when my wife was in there for the suspected heart attack, and then most recently with her eye surgery, I was watching too. You know, again, anything life threatening, obviously, I'm concerned. But while you're sitting there waiting to see doctors and stuff, I've had my YouTube out and watched some shows. It happens. We do that the best we can. But anyway, David comes by. Good to see you, David. And Brian and Mr. Glenn and the Swedish one, Swedish Jeff. Yes, I forgot it was Friday the 13th, Jeff. I did. We played hockey this morning, and I forgot that it was Friday the 13th. MVP's got his Raiders hat on right now. What is a special reason why I wore the Raiders hat? What level hockey? I am calling junior hockey, and they're 17 and 18 all the way up to 21, I think. And I got the 3 different levels. So I think it's like 17 to 19, and then, 18 to 20, and then the last one's 19 to 21. There's a little overlap there, but and another Jeff comes by, Mr. Jeff Edwards. Good to see you. And is that Rowan? I'm sorry, I can't read your name there. The 571951 Rowan comes by. Thanks for coming by here. She's a tough bird. Yeah, my wife's tougher than me. She's laying in bed right now. She can't get out of bed because she had the eye surgery. She's laying there. She's out of her mind. Now that's, it's better than like being like this in the hospital room, I guess. But just laying in bed and can't do anything. It's a test of your patience. You know what I mean? She can't even make me a sandwich, for crying out loud. That's how bad I have it. Kidding, kidding. The Raiders, when they were, what I didn't realize, Jeff, as Lotus comes by, good to see you. What I couldn't figure out is or remember is that I know they won it in 1980 because I remember I was I forget what I was doing in 1980, but I remember they played the Eagles, and I woke up late because I think I was out late playing hockey or something as a kid, and they played the Eagles, and they I wanted the Eagles to win. I didn't like the Raiders, and the Raiders won over the Eagles. So I remember in 1980. I didn't remember in 83 though that the Raiders won. That's one thing I didn't know. So that's what we're going to be talking about here today is 1983. As I take a look here, Cutter comes by. Good to see you, Cutter, and the Mr. Gus comes by as well. All righty, so let's go overhead and let's see what we got going on here. So I have a box here. Okay. I have a box. Oh boy, look at my things all messed up here. So let's see what's in the box here. This came in from Kenny. And I bought some stuff from Kenny before. I like to help Kenny out when I can. Kenny's a good guy. And he's just like, hey, Dave, I got, it took us a while to connect. His Facebook was messed up. Everything I sent to him bounced back, but he finally emailed me and I emailed him. So let's see what Kenny sent here. So we have, we're almost done over here. Oh, we got another thing to cut on the side. There we go. All righty. So there it is. So you can tell we have some APBA here. And this is, yes, the 1983 APBA football set. And again, I'm going to be getting more envelopes from Chris White. So I'm not too concerned that the envelopes have kind of been written on and they're banged up, because I will be getting Chris White to make me the new envelopes and the team cards. But for tonight, maybe I'll put them in there. So, yes, so I have 1983. Let's see here. Yep, so I have 2 of 2 and 1 of 2. Here we go. So that's what I have here for my card set. So let's take a look at some of these, shall we? Maybe I'll just put them in the envelopes while we chat and go over some players. And Lotus said they won Super Bowls 11, 15, and 18. Oh, that's, yeah, they did beat was it the Vikings? Was it 74? And then they won 80, and then they won 83. Was Madden with them in 80, or was he gone by that point? I don't remember. Joshua comes by. Good to see you. And yeah, hopefully 83 will be a fun year to play. So we're going to zoom in here and take a look at some of the cards. And again, Kenny takes good care of his cards. Like I say, I don't mind doing business with Kenny. Alrighty. So again, I've had good luck in the past, so I'm kind of hoping I'm going to have good luck again here. So, looks like that's that. So, yeah, in 1986, everybody beat your Vikings. Unfortunately, that was the case. Okay, so it was Flores. Okay, Glenn Flores, right, in the 80s. Okay. And CH comes by. It seems the Raiders might be getting back to its old self. Well, let's see. They had a bad couple of years. They're in Vegas. They're in the best stadium in the league, I think. They're just struggling, unless they played the Patriots from years ago. That was a crazy game. Remember that one? Hello from Brazil. Good to see you, Brazil. Hopefully things are going well for you out there. I'm going to zoom in on the cards over here so we can all take a look to see what we got. So, again, they're in reverse order here. So I think you probably took out the cards and counted them because they're in backwards order here. D13 comes by. Good to see you. And Vikings in 76, that was Madden. Yeah, and we talked about Flores there. Peter comes by. Good to see you, Peter. We're just kind of doing a quick unboxing here tonight. The 1983 APBA football set. Again, my friend Kenny. He gets them and he plays a little bit, and sometimes he doesn't play them, and he's just like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of it. So he said he needed some money to fix his car or something like that. So I said, sure, I'll buy him from you, Kenny. I'll buy him from you. This one, it was on my list anyway. So, and no way, Lotus was at the Tuck Rule game. No way. I think I told you my story about the Tuck Rule game. Of course, it was snowing that night, and we were over friends of ours. In fact, the friends we went out with on Sunday night, last Sunday night, they come down from New Hampshire. We were hanging up. They used to live a little closer to me. So, and they're not big football fans, but they say, hey, why don't you come over for the game and we'll hang out and, whatever, have something to eat. So we went over their house, and it's snowing and really coming down. And so we were watching. All of a sudden, that fumble came, and I was like, well, that's the end of the game. So we all grabbed our jackets. So me and the wife grab our jackets. We go out in the car, and we're putting on our shoes, and we're like cleaning off the car. And, so just when we were ready to leave, right, I got the car cleaned up. It's warmed up. We're waving by. He goes, hey, they just gave the ball back to New England. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah. He goes, it's not a fumble. He goes, come on in and watch the game. I said, no, I can't. I can't cross the threshold because that'll be bad luck. So he starts laughing. I said, besides, I want to get home. The snow is really, really bad. So we listened on the radio on the way home, and it was a bad ride home. But that's my my Tuck Rule story. I was not at the game, though. San Francisco was good, too. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. I was kind of spacing out there. Why are they already cornered? Oh, maybe I cornered them. Maybe I magically cornered them. They're magically cornered. All right, let's see what we got here for Dallas here. What I want to do, all right, I want to just kind of check here to see how these teams. Oh man, Pro Football. Can I get that to come up here? Pro Football Reference. There we go. They got this new verification now if you're human or not. If you're not a human, how do I know? Pretty soon we're not going to know who's human and who's not, right? All right. So how was Dallas? By the way, Dallas was 12-4, made the playoffs, lost to the Rams at Dallas. Actually, the Rams beat them. So let's take a look at Dallas here, shall we, and see how they did. Raphael Septien, so he's the kicker. Billy Joe Dupree was on the team. Butch Johnson. I always loved the Cowboys team. They were always on TV. So you had Newhouse, and Butch Johnson and Preston Pearson and Dorsett and all those guys. It was a fun team. Too Tall Jones, Everson Walls, Brunig, Hagman, Harvey Martin. I remember all these guys. Randy White, John Dutton. Hang on a second. I got to turn my heat down. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah, Randy White. Oh, there's some good names on this team here. Too Tall Jones. I love how they put the Too Tall in there, Tom Rafferty, the center. Donovan. Cosby, the tight end. Diz, Drew Pearson, Tony Hill, Ron Spring. Look at these names. Dorsett. This is nuts. Danny White, your quarterback. And some of these guys I don't really know too much. Oh, Gary Hogeboom, backup quarterback. Right? So let me come over here with this light. There we go. That might be a little bit better. I wonder if I can kill that light. No, I do like it. Let's see if I can change the color. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Let's see. Hogeboom, quarterback. Huther, I don't really know him too much. Jim Jeffcoat. These must be the backups he had off to the side. Jeff Rora, Chris Schultz, and the rest of the Cowboys here. Oh, no, I have to fill it off. Good thing I went through that there. I might have to go through everybody. You guys don't have to stick around for everybody, but... All right, so there's Dallas. Find my Dallas envelope here. I'm going to be using my temporary envelopes here until I get the ones. I haven't ordered them yet from Chris. I gave him a heads up. I says, Chris, I'm going to be getting an order for you. Do you know what Chris has got, by the way? If you haven't ordered from Chris White, he's got all sorts of fun things. He has got some basketball cards. His VSU basketball game, and he's got a set now where, or a new way of doing assists and points and rebounds, I think. So I will be able to play that co-op project ABA with his game. I think. So I want to try that. All right. So Dallas 83 is in the books. Okay. Let's take a look at the next team, and I will have to go through everybody to make sure that nobody gets mixed up here. So John Sciarra, is that what it is, Sciarra? Something like that. So let's see if I can fix that a little bit. Back in the chat, Peter says he's a Giants fan and he always hated the Cowboys. I don't have any ill will against the Cowboys. I actually rooted for them many times. Against the Steelers, and they just never won. Andrew comes by. Good to see you, Andrew. Andrew, I don't know if you caught that, what I just said. I'm going to be getting some VSU basketball from Chris White, and it's supposed to be a quick play basketball game, but you can get rebounds and assists and points. And so I'm hoping to kind of get that ABA season and get back to doing that ABA project with a quicker play game. So I'll have a bank shot, I'll have player of the game from Downey, and then I'll have this one here, and I'll be able to compare them, see how it goes. And hopefully it'll be a fun time. But thanks for coming by. MVP says Gary Hogman was in a class with you at CMU. Oh, fantastic. That must have been cool. Jeff says, check out Elway to Marino, 30 for 30. And it goes through the 83 draft. Yeah, I looked at some of the playoffs here, right? And so Denver went to the playoffs and lost to Seattle. And Elway get in the game, but later on. because he was a rookie that year, and I didn't realize that. So DeBerg started. I didn't know Steve DeBerg played for Denver, but he did. So he started, and LA come in, and but they lost the game 31-7 in Seattle. So that was before Denver got like really good. All right, so let's see who we get. We get Runiger, Tony Franklin, the kicker, right? Remember Tony Franklin, the barefooted kicker, right? And now we have a few guys here for Philadelphia. The other reason why I like to unbox these on camera is because if I'm missing a card, I can go back and watch the video and see where it went. Because there was a time that was it 94 I got. Was it 94? I think it was 94. Trying to see if I could find it over my shoulder. And I think it was Steve Young. And I couldn't find Steve Young anywhere. And I went back and watched the video, and I had Steve Young on camera. So I know I have him, and I just had to go find out where he was. Herm Edwards. Yep, there he is. Any of these guys you know here? I'm not too familiar with these guys. Is that Bobby Clark's brother in Philadelphia? Did he play for the Flyers? And Sizemore, I recognize. That's an interesting name. Vito Cab. That's kind of a really, really wild name if you think about it. Oh, Harold Carmichael. He was a fantastic receiver. Jaws will be the quarterback. Some of these guys. Is that Bill Cowher? Is that the Steelers coach, Bill Cowher? Am I getting that right? Sorry, let me just get that light out of the way here. I want to get a nice view of the cards here. There we go. That's better. Again, moving lights around is so much fun. Is that the Bill Cowher there? Then let me see here. And Jeff says, as an Eagle fans, always hated the Cowboys but respected them. Yeah. And Ciara was a quarterback at UCLA. Okay. And yeah, I'm hoping that, like I say, I've been just out straight as I talked about. I don't want to keep talking about work, but I have been. I've been like just going to one rink to another and coming home, sleeping, getting up, going to another rink. I haven't played anything. I'm slipping in an unboxing here tonight, and then I'll be going to bed. But I want to get back to that because I'm enjoying it. I really am. I'm enjoying play of the game, and I'm enjoying playing bank shot. And it'd be fun to add a third game. So I'm kind of hoping I probably won't get those in for a week or so after I order them. So I don't want to miss out on the project. But I definitely want to play a few games of that. And if it works out, then I'll get them for the next project, whatever that is. Let's see here. Anybody else jump out at you? Oh, Wilbert Montgomery, running back, right? Yep. And I remember. Too Tall's boxing. I remember that. I do. The Polish Rifle. I didn't know that. And Some Roads comes by. Good to see you, Some Roads. I'm going to be getting some of that. The Hair Nation League going. I almost played that the other night, and I ended up falling asleep. I just was so tired. I did not know Dan Pastorini was on the Eagles in '83. I did not know that. So if I go to Dan Pastorini on the Eagles, and the Eagles were 5-11 that year, they weren't that good. So Dan Pastorini, he played 3 games, and they carded him. Interesting. And this was his last season. So Dan Pastorini, 71-83. He only played 3 games with Philadelphia. 0 for 5. He didn't complete a pass. So he must have went in at some point, like late in the game, late in the season or something like that. But yeah, Dan Pastorini. And Joe Pisarcik. I didn't know Pisarcik went over there after the fumble. They let him go there after the fumble. When was the fumble? 78? Was that the miracle there? Interesting. Jeff, you can't be posting stuff like this. Because I am this close. Look at my fingers. Look how close my fingers are. I'm this close to pulling the trigger on USFL from Chris White with the APBA season. That's the first season of the USFL. And they got the Boston Breakers. That's what I was interested in doing. So I'm this close to doing that. Now you got to like jog that in my head, right? Oh, man, thanks. Thanks, Jeff. That's the same Bill Cowher. Okay. And Yeah, APBA Basic is so fun. I enjoy that. And oh, so you started playing. Oh, so you started playing with the set, and it's a lot of fun. Nice, nice. Gus, I saw that Crunch Time Basketball. I think you're in the Discord. Let me know where I can go find that because I saw some people playing that, and I want to check that out. Anybody else here? Skladany. I think I've heard of Skladany. Oh, he's a kicker. No wonder why I've heard of Skladany. And then we have that. So that is Philadelphia. If I can find my Philadelphia envelope here. Oh, there it is. I like it when it's right on the top. Do it. Oh, no, no, no. You can't do this. You can't. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. Now you're going to make me go buy that. I haven't even got the check in yet. I'm working all these hours. One day that check will come in, and if I get an extra, whatever it is, I'm going to try to grab something fun. I want to get the matchup basketball from ST's finally on sale, so I want to go grab that too. It's just a matter of me sitting down and logging in on the computer to get it. So Versace was the backup in Super Bowl 15. Oh, I did not know that. Vermeil retired after 82, and the Eagles are bad for a few years until the late 80s. Oh, retired after 82. Okay. Buddy Ryan, Randall Cunningham. Yep, good times there. And they do have all the USFL in the 2nd and 10. Okay. Yeah, they were 11-7. I need to pull the trigger on the breakers. I know. The only thing is, I don't know if there's any if I can get any as played lineups. Not that it would matter, but I like to do the as played. So if I was gonna go and pick up that season, I'd need to know, how I would find out who played in what game here. All right, so we have another set here, and okay, so we're gonna take a look now at the Giants. I think I'm going to have to go through the teams just because I want to make sure that I put them all in the same envelope. So again, stick around if you'd like, and we can just kind of chat here. I wasn't planning on being that long, but I think I'm going to have to go through everybody here tonight before I call it a night and put these things away. But yeah, the breakers could be fun, and the Michigan Panthers. That's interesting. I didn't know that, Glenn. That's pretty cool. I know I'm probably going to get it. I probably will. I said I would buy one really nice thing, maybe two really nice things once I get to the playoffs because I need to do that, Keith comes by. Good to see you, Keith. Good to see you, Keith. Bobby Hebert, the quarterback. Oh, really? Yeah, there's a few guys in the USFL I know. I don't know anybody on the Breakers, but it would be fun to play. All right, so here are your Giants. Ali Haji Sheik, right? He was a kicker, right? So your Giants were 3-12-1. And it looks like they tied Cardinals because those are the only two teams with ties. So these are your Giants here. Dave Jennings was your punter. Any of these guys jump out at you? Billy Campfield, Leon Bright, Joe Morris. I remember Joe Morris. That's pretty good. Terry Kennard, Mark Haynes. That's not the guy I'm thinking of. Oh, well, here's a guy we might know, right? Lawrence Taylor, Harry Carson. This guy's got some good D. There's some good D here. I don't know what the deal is. Brad Van Pelt was another good one. Jerome Sally. Gordon King, he was the king. Zeke Moet. I don't know if I should tell this story or not. He came to New England, and there was a big scandal with him in the locker room, I think with one of the reporters. That's all I'm going to say. That's what I remember about Zeke Moet. I think it was in the late 80s, early 90s when he came to New England, and there was an issue. I think it was a female reporter when they first started going into the locker rooms. Now they don't think they allow anybody in. Ernest Gray, Rob Carpenter. Wasn't he he was with the Oil, wasn't he the Oilers running back, Carpenter? Scott Bruner, backup quarterback, Rutledge. Oh, is he the full-time quarterback? So Rutledge and Bruner are in there. Look at that. A 66 has got a 2. Oh, they both have 2s. Okay, that's not bad. Mike Miller, Casey Merrill, Joe McLaughlin. Martin Leonard Marshall. That sounds like a familiar name. Chris Foote. Dennis. Jim Burt. That sounds. I'm thinking of the hockey player. I think I'm Adam Burt. I think I'm the hockey player Adam Burt. Oh, there's the quarterback right there, Phil Simms. He is your quarterback, I think. And a couple more guys from New York. As P-Jet comes by. Good to see you, P-Jet. Just kind of unboxing some football here today. So this is the New York Giants. Again, I'm going to use the generic cards until I get in my good envelopes. I mean, generic envelopes, so I get the good envelopes in here. All right, so we'll just keep going here. I do want to make sure that everybody's in the same thing, same team. So there'll be a couple of teams I'm going to kind of zip through here, like the Cardinals. So we have the Cardinals here now, and they are 8-7-1. They did not make the playoffs. So, Moat, big problem. It was that the one. It was Lisa Olson. Yeah, yep. I don't know who was the problem. They both were probably problems on that particular thing. Victor Kayam Day. Boy, that's a name you're pulling out of the past, right? Was that the Razor guy? Victor Kayam? That was some dark times in New England. That was some dark times. And okay, you put some links in Discord to that. Okay. See if you can tag me in those, Gus. I've missed out on so much social media the last few days because I just been exhausted and I haven't really been going through it as much. See if you can tag me so I can find next. So once this settles down, I want to check that out. I think wasn't Rod talking about crunch time when we had him on? I think Rod was talking about it too. Johnny Wall was quarterback of the Breakers. They won their first game with a last-minute touchdown pass. Fans stormed the field after the Breakers won. Of course they did. You have to. Joe Montana remembers Jim Burt. Okay. I must have missed out. Lake Effects comes by. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. And Moet never played again. It was a big deal. It really was. It was a bad look for New England, and I think they were bad at the time. And it was a bad look for just all kinds of things. It was, I guess, growing pains from with the media. All right, let's take this quick look at the Cardinals. Neil O'Donoghue, so he's the kicker for the Cardinals in '83. Stump Mitchell, I think I remember him. Guy Lafleur, right? Guy Lafleur played football. Danny Pittman. Is that I want to say Danny Noonan. No. No. Right? The world needs ditch diggers too, Danny. Will Ferrell. Stump Mitchell again. I finally figured out why they have two cards. It's because when they need more than 3 columns, they make a second card, like if they did some returns and stuff. So when I first got APBA football, I was so confused at the card thing, you know. Washington Baker Jr. Again, this is the St. Louis Cardinals here. Don't know much about the '83 St. Louis Cardinals, but I'm trying to see if anybody jumps out at me. Pat Tilley. Okay, that's a name I remember. Otis Anderson. Was that O.J. Anderson? Otis Anderson. Was that O.J. Anderson? Neil Lomax was your quarterback. Let's see. So we have Steve Bird, Brown, Dan Dierdorf. Ooh, he was with St. Louis in '83, huh? Dan Dierdorf. How about that? Oh, there's Jim Hart. You know, Jim Hart, good quarterback. St. Louis was always like a team that was supposed to do really well, and they never did. It's just they were always like the 10-6 team that could never get past anybody. Rusty Lish. We're going to have to play some Rusty Lish. That's delish. And then we have a few other guys here. Art Plunkett. And a few other guys here for St. Louis. And that is the rest of the St. Louis Cardinals. So I need to dig up my Cardinals. Let's see here. As I put these away, it should get easier and easier to find envelopes, right? There's St. Louis. So like what Kenny did, he kind of tallied up the offense and the defense if I wanted to jump right into a game. Let's see. Back in the chat room here, was that the year the Patriots went 1-15? I think that was 91, right? 91 was the year they were 1-15. I think they had some bad years. They really were. some bad times here before the good times. And the Lake Effect's getting into red ice. He's going to pick a best of 7. Pick 2 teams for you. What era do you like to play? What era do you like to play? That's what I'd like to know. And maybe I can give you an idea on what teams that might be kind of fun to play. All right, so now we're going to take a look. Oh, we still got a ton of guys over here. Okay, we're going to look at Washington Redskins. And I did see my Redskins thing over here somewhere, so I can kind of dig that out. Maybe. I just had Washington. Just want to have that handy dandy. Didn't I? Just there it is. Okay, I did have Washington. Okay. All right, so let's see who we have here for Washington. You have 09 and 10. Oh boy. I would do Washington Capitals because you got some Ovechkin happening. And maybe was Joe Thornton on the San Jose Sharks at that point? Or was he still in Boston and he had not played yet? That might be fun. Capitals and the Sharks. That could be kind of fun. Obviously, you get I think Crosby with the Penguins. Detroit was pretty good in 09-10. So we got Mark Mosley of Washington. Paul Coffey. Nick Giaquinto running back. And Joe Washington over here for Washington. Imagine that. His name's Washington playing for Washington. Let's see. Vernon Dean. Neil Okowicz. I think I've heard of him. Dexter Manley. Caps and the Sharks. It is. Yeah, that could be kind of fun. Dave Butts. Yeah, he was a tackle, right? Defensive tackle. Mark May. Russ Grimm up front. Art Monk. There we go. So we have Art Monk. That's going to be your he was an end. I thought he was a tight end, but I guess he's a receiver. Charlie Brown. Yeah, there was a Charlie Brown, wasn't there? There was a Charlie Brown on Washington, wasn't there? Then we got Riggins, the Hogs. And there's Theismann. There's a touchdown right there. 66 is a touchdown. 11 is possible touchdown. So we have Brooks, Carpenter, Monty Coleman, Bob Holly. Is that hardcore Holly? Do we need to get the wrestling going? Do we have hardcore Holly here? Bob Holly was the quarterback. Oh, he's got a 7 on a 66. Ooh, that's like a 5-yard gain. Kimball, Charles Mann, sounds familiar. Steve, and we got a Greg Williams and a Mike Williams, and then another Joe Washington card. So we have 2 Joe Washington cards. I'll have to remember that. And I wanted to play. What was the game I wanted to play? I wanted to play Redskins 49ers. I think that was the NFC Championship game. Yeah, Redskins 49ers, 24-21 Washington, and then they went on to get destroyed by the Raiders in the finals. But that could be kind of fun. All right, so here's that. And the A3 Redskins were pretty good, weren't they? All righty, speaking about teams that were pretty good or not pretty good, we're going to take a look at the 8-8 Minnesota Vikings. All righty. Let's see. So Jeff says the Redskins were good. Yeah, Mosley and Theismann, that could be fun. 500 points, just couldn't get past the Raiders. Yep. A would-be pick 6 interrupted by an Alabama slam. Remember the Alabama slammers? I don't know if I ever had one, though. Redskins, yeah, 541 points. Led the league. 541. Do you know who is second in points? Dallas Cowboys. Just saying. All right, so let's take a look at Minnesota. So Coleman was your kicker. Benny Ricardo. He was a kicker too. So he's your kickoff guy, and Coleman was your puncher. So Benny Ricardo was over here. That's a pretty cool name. Red wine. McCullum, Young, Galbraith, Turner. Oh, do you know what was interesting today too? I was talking to one of the parents after the game this afternoon. She's from California. Oh, I remember Scott Studwell, and she says her husband used to be like equipment manager or something like that for the Bruins, and now he's the equipment manager for the Mighty Ducks. And out in California, they tune in all the time and they listen to my hockey broadcast. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like I get somebody from the Ducks listening, and they're like, he goes, "We listen all the time." And he goes, "You're really fun to listen to." It made me feel good that somebody at that level enjoys what I do. Anybody here, you know? Anybody? Oh, Sammy White, we know, right? There's a Sammy White. We know that right there. Terry? Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know. Steve Dills, huh? Dave Casper. Is that the guy from the Raiders with Minnesota? Dave Casper with the Raiders. That's something else. That's crazy. Hey, Christopher, good to see you. We're just kind of unboxing some cards here tonight before I couldn't get to any game in this week. Maybe tomorrow night. It all depends. I'm gonna be wiped out tomorrow. No, Sunday. I mean, I got 5 more games this weekend. Whew. Okay, there's Tommy Kramer. So he's still with them. Don't know a lot of the Vikings here, so they might not make the table a lot. Wade Wilson is another quarterback. So that is your Minnesota Vikings. I don't think Rashad was on the team. I didn't see him on here. I don't think you're right. I would have seen Ahmad Rashad. Did he go somewhere else? Did Ahmad Rashad go to somewhere else? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Jeff, that's a good point. I don't. He might have been on NBC at that point, right? A lot of ice time. Yeah. Yep. Again, I got all 3 teams playing tomorrow. All 3 levels. So that's where I'll be tomorrow. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's a good time, but it's just long. Picture going to 3 NHL games. Like going to the rink for a 1:00 game and having a 1:00, a 4:00, and a 7:00. It's just a long time. Long time. Bob Thomas, he's your kicker, and Parsons is your punter. You know, who do we have here? Hutchinson is a runner. Dave Duerson. We're talking Chicago here right now, by the way. Gary Fensick sounds familiar. Geez, well, anybody know this guy here, Mike Singletary? Lake Effect says, thanks for pointing this out. He played for the Vikings for 1 season before going back to the Raiders for his big final season. Okay, well, maybe we'll sneak him in here on the Vikings, right? I like those guys that played on the odd teams. I like odd teams. I like guys that played on odd teams. So Dan Hampton, wasn't he 99? Dan Hampton, 99. He was like really good. He was a big boy. Steve Michael, Ozzy Osbourne. Let's see here. Jay Saldy was Chicago. He must have come over from Dallas, right? Emery Moorhead, that's another name, right? Bash Schnagel, that's another name. Willie Gault, right? He was pretty good as well. A receiver. Willie Gault's an A. Matt Suey, Dennis Gentry. All right, Calvin. Okay, now we're getting to some guys. Some guy named Walter. I don't know who he is. But if you roll a 66, he goes to the K column. Just about everything's a K column for him. Good job. Jeff says 83 was Bradshaw's last season. Steelers could have had Marino and passed on him. Wow. Oh, that's something else. He started 83 with the Oilers. Okay. And Jim Covert's a Pitt guy. Matt Suey, a Penn State guy. See, that's why you're here, Christopher. You helped me out here. Oh, boy, I forgot he was Jim McMahon. So this is a couple years before they went and blew out the Patriots, right? This could be a little more fun than I thought, actually. There's a lot more guys on here than I thought. 'Cause I held off on buying this season, and then, Kenny's like, hey, you want to buy it from me? And it's like, sure. So yeah, pretty good. So we have Bob Avellini, backup quarterback. Richard Dent. So this is the start of the defense of the '85 Bears. Vince Evans. You know what? I don't know why Vince Evans always sticks out to me. Is I remember watching him with USC, and it's just maybe because I was in junior high and I was paying a little bit more attention to stuff because there was no internet, so you just watch what was on TV. But I remember Vince Evans with USC. Oh, I am right. Yeah, USC. And then he went to the Bears, and number 8 he wore. Don't ask me how I know that, but I do. Let's see. Covert and Marino were roommates in Pitt. Nice. Uh, Boschnagel, the most metal name in football history until Angra. Boschnagel. Never thought of it that way. Let's see here. Is that Jeff Fisher? Is that the coach, Jeff Fisher? I think he would. It can't be because Jeff Fisher was fairly young when he was he coached like Tennessee and stuff like that. That can't be Jeff Fisher here. Excuse me. He looks really, really young if it's the same guy. Oh, Jim McMahon. Oh, they got him as a fullback for a runner. Well, that's interesting. He's got 2 cards. So must have done a lot of running. And that's about all I know here. So that is Chicago. Where is the Chicago? There's Chicago. So that's Chicago. That's the same guy. That is the coach, Jeff Fisher. He just looks really young, and so if he was coaching 10 years ago, I don't know how old that would make him. But he's looking good, Jeff. If that's really the same Jeff Fisher, I'm pretty okay with that. Good for him. Vince Evans went to the USFL. So if I want to get 83, then I wouldn't get Vince Evans, right? Is that what you're saying, Jeff? Okay. It is that Jeff Fisher. He played for Chicago. Oh, that's pretty cool. All righty. Well, now we have my Buccaneers, and I've looked at this team already, and they were 2-14, and there's really nobody on this team that jumps out at me as somebody I'm dying to play. So I don't know if the '83 Buccaneers will make the table. As who was it? Was it some road that said they're gonna you don't want to be the players stuck in the APBA envelope? Well, we might have some teams stuck in the APBA envelope. Let's see how many guys I know. Garcia, Bill Capice was still trying to kick. I want to say, still trying to kick for the Buccaneers. They must have got a good deal on him. He must have got him a deal on uniforms or something, because you tell me they couldn't find a college kicker that was better than Capice. No offense to Bill, but he was tough. Obradovich, he's still around on the team. Yeah, not recognize a lot of these guys. Beasley Reese. I didn't know Beasley Reese was he with Buffalo? Was Beasley Reese the Buffalo guy? And he's with Tampa Bay here. I know Beasley Reese, free safety. I thought he was like a Buffalo guy or something like that. Cotney was still on the team. Mike Washington on the team. Hugh Green. I remember Hugh Green. I think he was big part of what's the 79 team maybe. Theo Bell was the former Steeler. Okay. Leroy Selman. Yeah, he was pretty good. Leroy and Dewey Selman. Dave Logan, the nose tackle. The only reason I know some of these names is because I played the 79 team a few times. Dave Rivas. Jimmy Giles was still with the team. Tight end. Kevin House, the receiver. James Wilder, runner. Jack Thompson, quarterback. Don't know Jack Thompson. Booker. So here's a backup kicker, David Warnke. Yarno's a backup kicker. Don't know him. Nope. Colsey's still with the team. And again, I just recognize the names from other teams. Jeff Comlow, quarterback. Who was their main quarterback? Do I have a main quarterback for Tampa Bay? Passing, Jack Thompson. Thompson, Comlow, and Golston. Thompson, Golston, and Let me go back here. Hang on a sec here. Thanks for coming by, Glenn. Reese never played for the Bills. Oh, it was the Giants, not Buffalo. Okay. Okay. I thought it was one of those blue teams. So, all right. So there's Comlo, Goldstein, and who was the other guy? Thompson. Okay. So I do have the 3 quarterbacks. Okay. All right. Just checking on that. Let's see who's coming up next. We got another Bay team coming up next. McKay and Bum Phillips could have been a comic duo with a great one-liners. Yeah, I would say they could have been. It was a good time. At least McKay took it in stride. Then he got him to the NFC Championship game. So good for him. All right, Packers. How good were the Packers? The Packers were 8-8. It's another 500 team. Oh, let's see how they do. Tim Lewis. I played hockey with a Tim Lewis. Mike Jolly. Wasn't he the P-Jet here? Mike Jolly, wasn't that the guy? That was Greg Jolly from the Capitals, first round pick. Jan Stenerud, he kicked for everybody, I think. David Cassidy, Huckleberry Finn. Don't know a lot of the Packers here. Wingo, that's a pretty cool name. Definitely don't know anybody on defense. Oh, is that Dave Cook's brother? Greg Cook? Let's see. Dave Dreschler. Okay, Lofton. That's the first guy I know. And John Jefferson. Well, they had some good receivers, right? Lofton and Jefferson. Lynn Dickey, quarterback. Okay, quarterback. Any other backup quarterbacks in here? Not really knowing any of these guys here. Whitehurst. So Whitehurst and Dickey are my quarterbacks. Okay, did they have a third quarterback? Was all that Green Bay had was those 2? Dickey and Whitehurst. Oh, Ivory. Oh, Ivory is a running back. Never mind. Yeah, okay, that's it. I like to just double check my quarterbacks just to see if I have them all. All right, and the Green Bay envelope is right here. James Lofton will always be a Bill to me. Right? Oh, good for you, man. Good for you being a Bills fan. Let's see. All right. Again, thanks to Kenny for selling me these cards here as I try to help him out if I can. Let's see. And Jim sits down for dinner. He misses the start of the show. He'll watch it again when driving tomorrow. I'm just kind of going through here. Again, I picked up this set from a friend of mine on Facebook. So I'm just kind of going through and just making sure the cards are all the same teams and they're not mixed up so I can sort them out. That's what I'm doing, Dr. Jim. Oh, McKay, best soundbite. Yeah, Mara and then Edwards. Yeah. Yeah. What was the Herm Edwards one? I know Mara was playoffs. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. Jefferson with the Chargers before. Yeah, maybe he was. I think he was. All right, so Detroit. Now, why I might know Detroit is because Tampa Bay was always battling with Detroit for like the final playoff spot, and I just have these recollections as a kid about Tampa Bay, like looking at the scroller at the bottom to check the scores to see if Tampa Bay could ever beat Detroit. So I knew a lot of Detroit guys. Let's see if that is. Oh, you play to win the game. Thank you so much. Okay. It's Eddie Murray. Take me home tonight. Horace King. Demetrius Johnson. Black Jenkins. Freddie Scott. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, Thompson. Dexter Bussey, the fullback. Okay. Got a couple names here that we know. I like to have a couple names I know because then I play the game and it makes me feel better that I know some of the guys. William Gay, Doug English. I don't know them. These are the linemen. Leonard Thompson. Oh, I don't know as many as these guys. Oh, well, I know that guy, right? Billy Sims. Yeah, got no Billy says, oh, Eric Hipple, the quarterback. Yep, I remember Eric Hipple. Wasn't he like number 19 or number 11 or something like that? Backup kicker. Who was their kicker? Oh, yeah, Eddie Murray was their kicker. Yeah. Oh, Danielson was a quarterback too, right? Yep. Oh, yeah, that's the other reason why you know the Lions, right? Because they play Thanksgiving Day. Yeah, Jeff is. Yeah. What was I thinking, Jeff? Right? There's not a lot of televised game between Detroit and Tampa Bay. In fact, I don't think Tampa Bay ever played on Thanksgiving, at least through my childhood. But yeah, you're right. So that's why I would know the Lions too, is because of Thanksgiving. Thanks for saying the obvious. Mike Fanning, I've heard of him. The Big Red Machine. And that will be that. So that is your Detroit Red Wings. All right, coming up next, this is a team that I wanted to play Washington. Hippo was 17. I was close. I was close. All righty. Oh, nice. Sometimes you pull them right out and you get the whole team. Here we go. All righty. So San Francisco. Let's take a look at San Francisco here. I want to play them in Washington. I want to play that playoff game. Should be a good one. So Washington, the kicker. Yeah, looks like Tom Rose is your backup kicker. Let's see how many of these 49ers that we know. Bill Ring. I remember Bill Ring. I don't know more. Dwight Hicks. Ronnie Lotz is on this team. Oh, well, that's a good squad right there. Ronnie Lotz. Jack Reynolds. Is that Jack Reynolds? I'm trying to think of the Jack Reynolds. I'm thinking Youngblood. But maybe there's a Jack Reynolds too that was pretty good. Obviously, there's a Jack Reynolds. I just don't remember how good he was. Randy Cross. Yep, up front. I thought it might be more than that. He's a 4. And Nehemiah was a track guy. Okay. Bubba Paris. Anybody named Bubba's got to be good, right? Hacksaw Reynolds. Okay, yeah, I think I remember that. Russ Francis. Oh man, Russ, I miss you in New England. Russ, miss you in New England. Excuse me. Oh, that ginger ale went down really hard. So we got Francis Solomon, Dwight Clark. Oh, Roger Craig. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes here. Wendell Tyler played with San Francisco, huh? Did not know that. Joe Montana. Guy Benjamin. I wonder how much Guy Benjamin played. Richie Blackmore, right, from Rainbow, coming in to play cornerback. Man on the Silver Mountain. Oh, Matt Cavanaugh come over from New England. A lot of New England guys. Oh, Fred Dean. He was huge. I remember in the Super Bowl, Fred Dean, number 74, was monstrous against Cincinnati in the Super Bowl and all the playoffs. I just remember Fred Dean. Ricky Gervais, wasn't he a singer? And Bobby Leopold, Bob Montgomery, the Red Sox. And that is your San Francisco. That's your San Francisco. Lott amputated his finger so he continued to play one season. I think I remember that. It was a weird situation. now that you mention it. Alrighty. Okay. Now this is the team that beat the Cowboys in Dallas. Right? It's going to be your Los Angeles Rams. 9-7 wild card team going into Dallas and beating the second place Cowboys. So that was wild card Sunday. So so there's only 2 wild card teams back then. So it was the Rams and the Cowboys. And the Cowboys at 12-4 hosted the 9-7 Rams, and the Rams beat them. So let's see what we got for the Rams. David Hill. He was with the Lions for a while, wasn't he? Henry Ellard, receiver. Nolan Cromwell. I think he was the holder, too. Not only was a free safety, he was the holder on kicks and stuff. Mel Owens, is that the guy that does This Week in Baseball? Jack Youngblood. Yep, there you go. Was he was one of the last guys. I think I remember a story about one of the Youngbloods. I don't know if it was Jack or was it Joe Youngblood. They showed up to the games fully dressed, like they would get dressed at home and drive in with their car and be fully dressed. It showed pictures of them walking in fully dressed. One of the last guys to do that. Pretty wild. Let's see. Don't know some of these guys here for the Rams. Preston Denard. Remember Preston Denard? Oh, there he is. So this is a rookie season, right? So Sweetest Jeff chiming in, saying this is a rookie season for Eric Dickerson. So, yeah, 11-33-66, all K columns. So the K cars are here. Vince Ferragamo, quarterback. Gary Jeter playing with, was he what, Denver or the Giants? One of the two? I forget. He was with one of those guys, I think. A.J. Jones. Jeff Kemp will be a quarterback. Killer Kowalski. Anything else here? Mike Lansford is a kicker, and then Jim Youngblood. So it was Jack and Jim Youngblood, not Joe. One of those guys was getting dressed all the time. All right, so that is your Los Angeles team. Oh, there's the Rams right there. Okay, 38-37. That's pretty good. Yeah, he broke his leg in the Super Bowl, right? Oh, he played on a broken leg. That's what it was. Yeah, I think you're correct about that. All right, so I got a couple more teams in the National League. All righty, so here we go. One team that doesn't make the table too often because they're terrible. And this team this season was 8-8. Not too terrible, but neither good. So let's check them out here. So we have New Orleans, the Saints. Leon Gray. He must have come over from New England. Reggie Lewis and Rodney Lewis. Guido Merkins. He's the quarterback. We got to get Guido Merkins on the channel. We do. We need to get Guido in a game. Scott Plur sounds familiar. Maybe I'm mixing him up with somebody. Dave Wilson's another quarterback. So he's your kicker, Russell Exelbin. Erxelbin. Vernon Perry. I think I've heard of Vernon Perry. And so now Russell Exelbin's also going to be some kind of a kicker here. Morton Anderson's going to be a kicker for sure. All right, so we got Morton Anderson here. Looking at some of the numbers here, see if anything sticks out. There's a good kick column number. He should be pretty good. Let's see. Jimmy Rogers. Johnny Poe. Edgar Allen. And not seeing too many Saints here that I'm familiar with. Yeah, not really. Oh, there's one. Oh, we gotta get the snake on. He was horrible in New Orleans when I remember. I think he took himself out of a game one day. Says, "Don't put me back in." Right? Oh, the poor snake. The poor snake. So we might have to get Stabler on here. Erxleben. Okay, thank you, Lake Effect. Erxleben. Okay. Joel Youngblood, no relation, is the only player in baseball history to get traded and play for two teams in the same day, 82 Mets and Expos. Oh, that might have to be a project here. That might have to be a project there, Mr. Jeff. Right after I do USFL. Now I'm thinking about that. I really am. I'm thinking about that USFL. So thanks for dropping that bug in my ear. I'm going to do some research. It shouldn't be too hard to find the schedule, but as far as finding who played, that could be the challenge. All righty, so we got the Atlanta Flames coming up next. Okay, I got my envelope here. So Mick Luckhurst, he was going to be a kicker, I'm pretty sure. Checkamaro, don't know. Atlanta had good defense. I wonder if I can recognize any defense here. I don't know if it was a no-name defense where they just had guys that were really good, but Atlanta always had a pretty good defense. What was their Atlanta? Oh, they were 7-9. 389 points against. It was pretty high. Yeah, they were towards the bottom of the league this year. Stabler was snake bitten, says in New Orleans. Yeah, remember that he played a game. I was watching on YouTube and they were talking about it. And he said, "Take me out." He was so bad he just couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, I'm not recognizing anybody here. Junior Miller, receiver. Alfred Jackson. Okay, yeah, that's a name I'll remember. Is that Billy White Shoes? I think it is, right? Billy White Shoes Johnson. Yeah, so he's your punt returner on the TA. Or is that what? Why does that say TBK? I thought TA was your punt returner. So TBK, he's your backup guy. Oh, so maybe I'm not sure about that. I'm gonna have ask Jeff about that. I've never seen that TA and then TBK. So TA means he's your top punt returner, I believe. TB means your second punt returner, so he would go K column for that. I'm gonna have to ask Jeff. I'm gonna put that aside, and I'm gonna ask Jeff about that. So where's my phone so I can take a picture of that so I can ask Jeff. Jeff knows about that stuff. Okay, so I will ask. Not Swedish Jeff. I will ask Jeff Giordano. I will ask Jeff Giordano. Alfred Jenkins. All right, now we're getting there. We know some of the guys here. Robin Williams, Gerald Riggs, Steve Bartkowski is your quarterback. Okay. Giacomo sounds familiar. Matthews, Miller, Mike Morosky, Danger, Will Robinson. Not knowing a lot of the guys here on Atlanta. PSF comes by. Billy Johnson. Yeah, Billy White Shoes, right? Billy White Shoes Johnson. Good times. Good times. Atlanta's not very good. Defense is only a 34. All right, so that's your NFC. And so now we have AFC. Let me pull some of these out before I get too crazy. This thing is too heavy. All right. And who do we got here? All right, so we have your New York Jets. Your 7-9 New York Jets, your last place New York Jets in 1983. I thought Bartkowski was a good quarterback like Hart, who had the bad luck of being on losing teams. Bartkowski wasn't bad. I remember he got hurt a couple of times. So PSF went to the same school as him. Used to do the homecoming parades. That's pretty cool. It's always good when you somebody like that. And D Blitz comes by. Hope I'm well. Well, I'm sneaking in an unboxing here in between work. I can go back tomorrow. Hopefully Sunday will be an easy day. I like to play something. I want to really take a week off after all this playoff madness is done. I want to just take a week off from everything and just play some games. I want to get some APBA football and some APBA hockey and fast drive football and hockey bones. I want to play. I miss playing. I miss playing, but that's kind of how it goes. Is I got to go make the money right now. Him and Joe Klecko used to play softball at the fields at Marcus Hook. Interesting. Jeff says TA and TBK means that he can be the primary and secondary punter, but not 100% sure. I'm going to find out. I know TA is your punt returner, I believe. But I'm not sure what that meant, the TA TBK. So Pat Leahy will be your kicker. Chuck Ramsey will be your punter. Mickey Schuler. Yeah, we know Mickey Schuler. Derek Gaffney. Johnny Hector was your running back. Mike Augustniak, Harper, Scott Dierking is another name. Now we have some of the defensive guys here. Don't really, I should know some of these guys. Marty Lyons, okay, and Joe Klecko and Gastineau. Okay, there's like three there. So Marty Lyons, Klecko, and Gastineau. Yeah, those are three guys that we know as New England fans, right? As any fans actually. Joseph Pellegrini. I knew a Joe Pellegrini when I grew up in school. Barkham, Wesley Walker. Okay. Marion Barber, Freeman McNeil. Yep. And so we got Richard Todd. Some of these guys here. Here's the line. Pat Ryan. Yep. There's another quarterback here. McElroy. And so that is your New York Football Jets. TB is a secondary punt returner. So TA's primary punt returner uses K column for the return, says Rogue. TB is second. Yeah, so TA and TB. So he's both, and I use the K column for both. Is that what you're telling me? That would make sense. So TA and TB. So he's going to do both and go to the K column for both, is what you're telling me. I'm okay with that if that's the case. Alrighty, so we continue on here with the AFC. OAK's primary kick return. Okay, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since I played the APBA football. It'll come back to me once I start playing. Yes, yeah, this is it's fun. I hadn't planned on picking this one up this fast. I was going to get it at some point, so I'd like to have them all, in my wheelhouse if possible. But they are pricey, so I have to pick them off from time to time. And okay, so OAK is your kick returner. Use the K column. Okay. All right. Yeah, it'll all come back to me. Oh, Von Shaman as we go to the Miami Dolphins. Oh, Reggie Roby. They had some good kickers, right? Von Shaman and Roby, good kickers. Fulton Walker. And what was he now? He was looks like he did some returns. Let's see. Who else from Miami do we have here? Duriel Harris. Woody Bennett. We got a couple of Blackwoods, Lyle and Glenn. I wonder if we have a Nina Blackwood. And anybody else? AJ Dewey. Okay. Brodzinski and Bo Camper. Oh, they got some good D on this Miami team. Oh, they were a 41D. 41D for 12-4 for Miami. And they lost to Seattle. Seattle beat them in the divisional game. So they went one and done. Did you pick up on that? Yeah, you got that. You think 76 was the best? Yeah, they went to the Super Bowl. Beat the Vikings that year? But then 80 was good too. 80 was good. Oh, they got the Kuchenberg. And then we have Moore and Duper. Look at these guys. These guys were Patriot killers. I think I went to a Dolphins game one time up in New England there, and it was just they were just thrown to the sidelines, and it was just like Moore and Duper, and you just couldn't stop it. Just like 5-yard outs, and just like first down. Tony Nathan. Woodley's a quarterback here. Another Tony Nathan card. Marcus Clayton and Duper. That's what it was. Clayton and Duper. Now, Clayton's got a couple of cards here. He did some returning. Okay, so he has a return card, and he has this card here. Okay. The Marx brothers, yeah. A lot of great quarterbacks in 83. Yes, there were. And let's see. Anything else coming up here? Well, there's a guy here. So there's a guy named Dan Marino. You guys ever heard of him? Miami was the killer bees. All those bees on defense. Yeah, that would be correct. So then, Don Strock, he was on there as well. And so there's your Miami Dolphins. Oh, they're right here. Let's look at that. So they're a 41 on their standard defense, 39 on offense. Yeah, so they were pretty good. Yeah, laces out. That was kind of cool that he played in that movie, wasn't it? Oh, where are we now? Okay. It's amazing. Sometimes I'll come over here, right, and I'll pull out a stack, and I manage to pull out the team like exact. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna take a look at your Baltimore team. Larry Anderson and Kim Anderson is what we have. Burrows, cornerback. Vernon Maxwell. That sounds familiar. Sounds like a basketball player. How is Baltimore? I like to check to see the standings here. So Baltimore, 7-9. So they were on the way down at this point. They were ahead. They were halfway to Indianapolis, I think, right? When did they leave? Was that mid '80s that they left for Indianapolis? I forget now. Raul Allegre kicking for Baltimore. And Ron Stark, he's your punter. This was their last year for going to Indianapolis, huh? Alvin Moore. Curtis Dickey was with them. Oh, yeah, I remember. Oh, Pagel was your quarterback. Okay. Herman, the quarterback. I don't know Herman. A lot of these guys I don't know. Mark Reed, quarterback. They got 4 quarterbacks carded here. And that will be, and there's Ron Stark as a, looks like he's a backup kicker as well. So this is your Baltimore team. 33 defense, average at best, right? That means everybody's a 3. 11 times 3 is 33. That's not horrible. Not horrible. All right, so let's take a look at this next team here, shall we? And again, I pulled them out. Exactly. Very nice. Can't imagine why Ellie wouldn't want to play for Baltimore. That's a good point, Jeff. That's a good point. All right, so these guys I should know, kinda. Sanford, yeah, Roland James, yeah, Raymond Claiborne, Ronnie Lepet, Don Blackman. See, I know all these guys. This guy I don't know. Johnny Rembert, Andre Tippett. Yeah, New England had a good defense, but this year they were 31. That's not good. Julius Adams. So I don't know why they were so bad. New England. What did I say? New England was 8-8. They just gave up. They were point differential -15. That's not too bad. That's too bad. And D Blood says Cowboys won their first 7 games that year. Yeah, they finished second place to Washington. They lost at home in the playoffs. Toby Williams, Bob Kreider, no. Ron Wooten, yep. Pete Brock, yep. John Hanna, Hog Hanna, yep. Fred Steinfurt, he was one of the kickers, right? So he's your main kicker here. Steinfurt, huh? Rich Camarillo, he was punted for a long time, I think. Or at least he felt like he did. Lynn Dawson, the tight end, yep. Derek Ramsey, another tight end. Clarence Weathers. Steven Starring. Holy cow. When's the last time you heard Steven Starring? Especially if you're a New England fan, right? That's pretty wild. Stanley Steamer. Cedric Jones. Robert Weathers, a running back. Mosey Tatupu. Mark Van Egan with New England. I forgot Mark Van Egan played with New England. I really didn't. I say it again. I forgot he played New England. Tony Collins. And we got Steve Grogan. Ed Reynolds. George Peoples. I think I remember Peoples. Oh, Steve Nelson. Great linebacker. Lawrence McGrew. Fred Marion. Geez, I know a lot of these guys. Kerrigan is a quarterback. Didn't know that. Some of these guys here, the backup guys, I don't know. And there's Eason, as Jeff brought that up. Rookie season for Eason. Browning. Dwight Wheeler. Joaquin Zendejas. He was a kicker. And John Smith was still kicking. Huh. So they got R for extra points and K for field goals. I've never seen that. Look at that. So he's your backup kicker. He's not your main kicker, but he's got 2 ratings, one for extra points and one for field goals. That's wild. Oh, Kenneth Sims at the end. I remember him too. That's pretty wild. That's I don't want to say it's cool, but it's pretty wild that that he has that going on there. All right, so there is your 83 New England Patriots. And now we have another team here that you guys might recognize. Now I'll give you a hint. They were 8-8. Seems like everybody was 8-8 in '83, right? Here's your Buffalo Bills. So we got any Buffalo fans over here? Joe Danello, Joe the Toe Danello. So he is your kickoff guy and your kicker. Let's see. Anybody else? Byron Franklin. Roosevelt Leaks is your running back, right? Kennedy, safety. Anybody else? I should know some of the Bills here because they come in New England. Freddie Smirlis was with Buffalo at this point, right? Freddie Smirlis. Oh, what was Freddie? What was his rating? 4. Nose tackle, 4. So they must have played a 3-4 with a nose tackle, right? Anybody else on here that's any? Don't know. Joe Cribbs. Oh, he was a pain in the neck. Joe Ferguson still with the team. Not really recognizing too many names here. Matt Kofler is backup quarterback. Nope, not knowing too many of these guys here. And so that'll be it for Buffalo. I was born during Week 5 Monday Night Football. The first actual replay I ran with Fast Drive Football. That's cool when you can play stuff like that. That makes it really fun, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Okay, another nice grab here out of the pile. All righty, so let's go with the Pittsburgh Steelers here. And let's see who we have in 83. Bills drafted Kelly, but he went to USFL. Then he must have went back to Buffalo, right? And Darryl Taylor was part of the Super Bowl years. Okay. Gary Anderson was your kicker, and Cole Quitt was your punter. I do remember that. Benny Cunningham. Benny. Odom Pollard. Maybe. Oh, Donnie Shell and Mel Blunt, I remember. So they still had a little bit of their defensive core. Lambert, Jack Lambert. So what was Pittsburgh here? Pittsburgh was they won the division 10-6. It's not incredible, but it's okay. It's okay. Mike Merriweather. Webster the center. Okay, remember him. Kelly tried to Elway, didn't work, and went back to Buffalo after USFL died. Oh, he tried to Elway it. Okay. Well, it turned out pretty good in Buffalo, didn't it? Stallworth. Franco's still there. Cliff Stout, one of your quarterbacks. I remember Cliff Stout. Remember the name anyway. Mark Malone, quarterback. Oh, there's our buddy Dave Little. Where is Dave Little when you need him? Right? Had him on the show the other day. Different Dave Little, but still a namesake. Let's see. Now there's your Bradshaw. And on a pass, he's got a 2 here. On a 66, he's got a 2. And over here, and a 2. So he's got 3. Oh, 44 is a 2 as well. Pretty good. And then a couple other guys here I don't know. So, and there's I have blurs too. There's a lot of blurs in my my sports history too. I just don't remember it. Gabe Rivera, senior sack, tragic story. I did not know that, Chris. Did not know that. Alrighty, let's see if I can get another grab here. Nope, didn't get it. Didn't get it clean. Okay, so here we go. All right, this is the team everybody wants to see. Everyone's a fan of the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland. What were they? 9-7. Didn't make the playoffs. Again, it seems like everybody's 9-7 or 8-8. That's where everybody was this year. It was a very, very unique year. And Gus is a Bills fan. This is the era where I migrated from the Rams to the Bills. Nice. Nice. Oh, he's in a car accident. Oh, bummer. I don't want to hear that. Was Hart back up the quarterback to Theismann in 83? I don't think so. But let me check. No, Theismann, Bob Hawley was the other quarterback. Played 5 games. Hardcore Hawley. Jim Hart was still with St. Louis at this point. So if I go to check out Jim Hart, 84. So you were close. It was the next year, 84. At 40 years old, he went and played a couple of games for the Redskins. But you were close. You get that A for effort. That was pretty good. Bradshaw played only the second half of the final against the Jets, throwing 2 touchdowns. His elbow was killing him, so he retired. Yeah, was that and that was the end of the yeah, I think you're correct about that. I think I saw the highlights there on YouTube about that. Alrighty, so Rod Perry, I know. I think I remember that name. Matt Barr is going to be your kicker. Ricky Feature, receiver. Johnny Davis. Larry Brazil. I think he was another Houston guy, wasn't he? Bob Golick. There's a name, right? I think we've heard of Bob Golick. Mike Babb sounds familiar. Ozzie Newsome. There's a good guy right there. Ozzie Newsome. He's a 4. And Dave Logan's over here. Only a 3 though. Mike Pruitt, the forward halfback. Brian Sipe. There's your quarterback right here. Brian Sipe. Steve Cox is going to be your backup kicker. Anybody else here? Tim Straka. Let's see. Vegas Ferguson. He was a New England Patriot guy. He must have come over here. Anybody else I might know for Cleveland over here? Not really. Nope. Quiet. All's quiet. Golick. I don't know what Golick did. Yeah. They're average numbers here in the 30s. Chuck Noll wanted a defensive player and drafted Rivera. Steeler and Rooney wanted Marino, but Noll had the final call. How'd that work out? Well, they both did pretty well. Steelers were still good. And the Dolphins obviously were, Super Bowl bound. Okay, so where are we now here? Okay. Ambrose was a middle linebacker. All right, let's see what we got here for these guys here. We got the Houston Oilers. Houston Oilers. All righty, so Florian Kemp is going to be your kicker. I didn't know Florian Kemp. Derek Hatcher. I thought that was Darian Hatcher from the Dallas Stars. Kyle Roaches. Roaches check in. They don't check out. Anybody for Houston here? Not really seeing any names here for Houston. Bostic looks familiar. Brazil? Okay. Yeah, I remember him. Again, that's why I flipped through these guys so you guys can kind of see something here. I'm not picking up on this though. Munchak, maybe. Renfield. Yeah, Michael Renfro. Okay, there's a guy we know. There's a guy we might know too. Earl Campbell. Bradshaw, Lambert, and Swan all retired after 83. Oh, that's why the Steelers probably went downhill. Archie Minnesota. Ooh, see, that's why I do this. So I caught that. So I caught Archie Manning with Minnesota. Now, Archie Manning was with Minnesota in 83. Whew, that's why I got to go through these. Archie Manning was not with Minnesota in 83. So, is that just a misprint here for Houston? Um, yes. So this is Houston. Okay, so Archie Manning was with Houston. It's a good catch by Kenny on that one there. So, yes, we got a misprint here, right? So Archie Manning, that should be Houston, not Minnesota. But Kenny found that, so good for Kenny. So we'll keep him here with Houston. A couple other guys here: Crutchfield, Greg Hill, um, Houston. Kind of hoping I didn't screw up anybody else that might have been misprinted because there was one or two guys that were in the wrong pile here, but I suppose we'll figure it out when I go to do. McCloskey, wasn't he in Airplane? Gifford Nielsen, quarterback. Renfield back on D. Who are your quarterbacks for Houston? Did I go? They were 2-14. Not that they'll ever see my table. Oliver Luck and Gifford Nielsen and Archie Manning. I think I had Luck in here, right? Let's see if I had Luck. Oliver Luck, 83, Houston Oilers. Anybody remember seeing Luck? There it is. Okay, good. So I did have the Oliver Luck there. That's a weird misprint, though. It's a very weird misprint to have a guy in Houston labeled Minnesota. All right, so there's Houston, 33-29. Yeah, their defense is pretty bad. Pretty bad, actually. Alrighty. Let's see who else we got over here. So we got the Cincinnati Bengals now. And you were in Pittsburgh for a work seminar in 06. A shuttle driver claimed he played for the Steelers in the 60s. Interesting. Manning started for Houston in 83, but then went to Minnesota. Oh, maybe that's why? Hmm. It's not showing that, though. Oh, wait. Hang on a sec. So if I go to Archie Manning, yes, he played for two teams. Yeah, he got 3 games in for Houston, then went to Minnesota. Okay, so technically it's not a misprint, right? Because he played for 2 teams. So he would be with Minnesota, but I'm going to keep him with Houston. I'm going to keep him with Houston because he really didn't do much with Minnesota that year. Yeah, he's not even listed as passing for Minnesota. Like, no stats at all for him. So 2 games, yeah, no stats. So he went to Minnesota in 83, but there was no stats. So yeah, we'll keep him. We'll keep him with Houston. So good catch though, Jeff. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. All right. So yeah, you expecting to see Collinsworth? I bet you are. I bet you are. All right. So Jim Breach is going to be your kicker. Horton here's a who. Tate, Pat McAnally. He did everything. He was like the punter and the receiver, and I think he cleaned the showers after the game and then put gas in the bus. He did everything. Anybody? Larry Kennebrew, familiar? Yep. Bobby Kemp, Ken Riley, Reggie Williams, Jim LeClaire, Tom Dickel. Browner must be your kicker here, backup kicker. Chef Boyardee, right. I'm not knowing many of these Bengals here. Well, this finally somebody again, Anthony Munoz. Okay, we all know Anthony Munoz, right? In Cincinnati was 7-9. You know me and my middle teams. You either got to be really good or really bad to get on the channel here. Usually, I should back that up by saying usually. Archie Manning played for both Minnesota and Houston. Apachata comes by. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, I didn't know that. It's fun seeing some of these older guys, whether it's baseball or football, go to different teams at the end. It's kind of fun to play that. Isaac Curtis. There he is. Chris Collinsworth, 4. He's a 4. Okay. Pete Johnson, another good back there. And then Kenny Anderson, your quarterback. Brown was on defense and Breach was a kicker. Okay, yeah, I knew Jim Breach was a kicker. Jeff Christensen. Wasn't he with the Raiders at one point, Christensen? And who else we got here? A lot of guys. Tony Turk Schonert. Don't know the Turk. And that will be pretty much it for your Cincinnati Bengals in 1983. Check if Marcus Allen is PRN1 in his K column, when his long that season was 19 yards. When I get him. That was Todd Christensen, huh? That was with the Raiders. Okay. Alrighty, here's a team here we'll take a look at. The next team that we have, your Seattle Seahawks. So 1983 Seattle Seahawks, who did go to the playoffs that year, I believe. Yes, 9-7, and Seattle actually beat the Broncos, then beat the Dolphins before losing to the Raiders in the AFC Championship game. Now that's interesting because Seattle was a wild card team, and they finished behind the Raiders that year. Yeah, they did their web pages over, and I go there all the time. I live there all the time. But yeah, sometimes I can't find things either. Christian was a tight end with the Raiders. He might be an A. Okay, I will check that out. Jimmy Zorn. I love Jimmy Zorn. I always like Jim Zorn. Let's see here. Anybody else for the 83 Seahawks that we might know? Because they did go pretty far. Not a lot of household names. Mano Tuiasosopo. Sounds familiar. Jeff West looks like he's going to be your punter. Norm Johnson looks like he's your kicker. Harold Jackson with Seattle. I remember he played with the Rams in New England. I didn't know he was with Seattle. Well, good for him. Let's see here. Cullen Bryant from the Rams. So we got a couple of Ram guys over here with Seattle. Dan Dornick with Seattle. Let's see here. Michael Jackson. Not a lot of household names over here on the 83 Seahawks. Pete Metzelaars. Okay, that's a name I might have heard of. Oh, well, here's a guy we know. It's Steve Largent, right? Okay, so that's Stevie. Kurt Warner. Not the Kurt Warner, the running back Kurt Warner. And then Dave Craig was over there, too. So Craig and Zorn over there with Seattle. And that is Seattle. So they're 39-40, a little bit better defense, according to Kenny. All righty, so we're getting down to our last few teams here. All right, so we have Kansas City. There's our kicker here, Nick Lowry. Arnold's another kicker. Anybody here in Kansas City that we might know? So Kansas City was last place, 6-10. This was not a good year for Kansas City. And Deron Cherry, that's a defensive guy I know. Lucius Smith. Anybody here recognize any of these guys? Art Still. Dave Lutz sounds familiar. Not recognizing too many of these guys. Bill Kenny is a quarterback. Not recognizing too many of these guys here. Thomas, a running back. Wetzel, receiver. Bryant, Brown, and Blackledge is a quarterback. And Rich Baldinger. Yeah, didn't know too many of the Chiefs. Didn't know many too many of the Kansas City guys. All right, just a couple more teams to go. And then looks like I got 3 teams to go here. All right, so here's the Denver Broncos. Let's see who's got carded here on Denver. All right, so we have Mecklenburg. All right, we know that guy. Prestige is a kicker. Carlos is a kicker. Riley Odoms. Then Preston. Now Denver made the playoffs, right? And yeah, they lost. Denver was 9-7, and they lost right away to Seattle. That's what happened. That might be a fun game to play. Is that Denver Seattle playoff game? Oh, Tommy Jackson, yep, linebacker. Randy Gradishaw. So they had some guys here. Their defense was 37. That's pretty good. Ruben Carter. Not recognizing too many guys on offense. Ricky Upchurch, receiver. DeBerg is a quarterback. Tom Sawyer. Yeah, not recognizing a lot of these guys here. Well, there's a guy we know, John Elway, right? Rookie season for Elway. And Gary Kubiak was also on the team, and that is that. So that's your Denver Broncos, for those of you scoring at home. It's not a bad set. Not a bad set. Again, it wasn't at the top of my list as far as seasons, that's for sure, but I'm not regretting buying it. All right, so now we have the San Diego Superchargers. James Brooks, Rolf Benershka is your kicker. Maury Buford, I think, is your punter. Anybody else here? And how did San Diego do? They were 6-10, so they did not. What was with San Diego? They had all these names, and they couldn't do that. Joe Dat, James Brooks was pretty good. San Diego just never could quite get over the hump. They got to 1 Super Bowl, didn't they? Not knowing a lot of these guys here. Kellen Winslow. All right, there's one. Okay, and Charlie Joyner. All righty. Wes Chandler, Chuck Muncie. There's a few. Fauci. Okay. Yeah, we did pretty good with that. Sherman Smith. I think he was with Seattle for a while. That sounds like a Seattle type of guy. Leroy Jones. And Tim Fox was this San Diego. He must have come over from New England. He was a big New England guy. And Roger Carr. That was from Baltimore, right? And he's over here in San Diego, and that is that. So that is Buford was the punter for the 85 Bears. Interesting. All right, so now we have the Super Bowl champs coming up. The Raiders. Oh, the defense of San Diego, 31. It's not horrible, but it's neither would I'd say that it's good. So let me put all these here, and we'll take a look at the Raiders coming up. All right, so here's your Super Bowl champs, the LA Raiders. They're a 41 and a 40. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. 41 on offense means he had most everybody was a 4. All right, so Mike Haynes on the cornerback. Only a 3 for Haynes, huh? Pruitt, the halfback, only a 2. That's weird. Ray Guy, fantastic kicker. Chris Barr, he's a kicker. Hasselback, Jensen. Let's see how many guys I know here. There's another. Oh, they had both Pruitts. They had Greg and what's the other one? I thought they had another Pruitt here. Did I see a Pruitt here? Am I Yeah, Greg Pruitt. Okay, so Greg Pruitt has 2 cards. Okay, that's what it was. So he's probably got a return card and a regular card. Okay. Candy King. Lester Hayes is on this team. Rod Martin. Matt Millen. Wasn't he the coach of one of the teams? Was it the Lions or something? The general manager of the Lions? That was a disaster. Ted Hendricks is on this team, huh? I didn't know that. Lyle Alzado's on this team. That's pretty good. Howie Long. Oh, geez, a 5. Alzado's only 3. What was Hendricks? 4. Dave Dalby, center, is a 4. There's Todd Christensen. Who was asking about Christensen? He's a 5. A 5 tight end and a 5 wide receiver. So somebody was asking about Christensen. And yes, he's an A asterisk. Yes. I really don't use that too much. But it's there. You would be correct. Cliff Branch was still with the team. Nice. Marcus Allen, holy cow, a 4. Plunkett was a 4. Mark Wilson was on the team. He went to New England at some point, didn't he? That's all the guys David Humm, another backup quarterback. And that might do it here. Oh, another Marcus Allen card. So he must have had some returns. And so that'll do it there with the Raiders. And so Matt Millen, Penn State guy, huh? So, all righty. Well, that is that. That's an unboxing here. So I finally got something done here for fun. So I can look forward to playing the 83 season of APBA football. Thanks to Kenny for selling me that set. 3 Mile Aisle for Matt Millen. Fun times. But anyway, well, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go jump out here. Going to get some sleep. I got a 12-hour day tomorrow almost, wrapping up the playoffs up north. Should be a fun time. I think 2 teams can clinch tomorrow. We get a deciding game 3, and then a game 2 that could be a series clincher up there as well. So 2 teams could advance next week, and 1 still in the regular season. So that should be a fun time. I think that second Marcus Allen card was a Super Bowl card. He had 2 1s. Interesting. Yeah, I hopefully will enjoy that. Once I find the time to play, I will enjoy that. I do want to play that Washington San Francisco NFC Championship game. I do want to get that on the channel for sure, as well as a few others. So anyway, well, thank you for coming by. Probably won't see me tomorrow, working all day and all night, but maybe Sunday. Maybe I'll come on Sunday and say hi to you guys. Maybe I'll get something on the table. Depends how tired I am. But thanks for coming by, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing of 1983 APBA football. Had a fun time with that. We got to chat a little bit about some things, and it was a fun time. A good time was had by all, I think. I'm Dave. We'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.